March 29th, 2009. Melbourne, Australia. A car no one has seen before sits on pole. The team that built it does not even appear in the official race program. They were confirmed too late to be printed. 3 weeks earlier, this team did not exist. 4 months earlier, 700 people at a factory in Brackley, England, were told their jobs were gone, that their cars would never race, that Formula One was done with them. And now, Jenson Button leads Rubens Barrichello across the line for a 1-2 finish. The first for a debuting constructor since Mercedes-Benz in 1954. The paddock does not know what to think. But here is the part that makes this story unlike anything Formula One has ever produced. This team will win both world championships in their only season, and then cease to exist. Forever undefeated. To understand how that happened, you need to understand one man. Ross Brawn had been in motorsport since 1976. As technical director at Benetton, he delivered Michael Schumacher's first 2 championships in 1994 and 1995. Then he followed Schumacher to Ferrari and orchestrated 5 consecutive constructors' titles between 2000 and 2004. The man didn't just win, he built dynasties. After a sabbatical in 2007, he joined the struggling Honda Formula One team as team principal late that year, tasked with turning around a team that was going nowhere. And then he made a decision that changed everything. The 2008 Honda car was a disaster, finishing 9th out of 11 constructors. Most team principals would throw resources at fixing the current car, chasing incremental gains. Brawn did the opposite. He abandoned the 2008 season entirely. He told his engineers to stop working on that year's car. Every resource, every wind tunnel hour, every brain in the building pivoted to 2009. A massive regulation change was coming. New aerodynamic rules, the return of slick tires, completely redesigned cars. Brawn saw a once-in-a-decade window where the entire grid resets, and he wanted a head start. It nearly does not matter. On December 5th, 2008, Honda's executives fly to Heathrow to deliver the news personally. Honda is leaving Formula One, effective immediately. The global financial crisis has hammered the automotive industry. Honda's profits are down 87%. A $200 to $300 million per year racing program that finishes 9th is an easy line item to cut. Back at the Brackley factory, 700 people learn their futures have just evaporated. It is 3 weeks before Christmas. Japanese Honda engineers are openly weeping on the factory floor. Sky News crews park outside. People with half-built houses, pregnant wives, families depending on their next paycheck, all of them staring at nothing. But here is what Honda's executives do not fully understand. The team they are abandoning has been quietly building what might be the fastest car on the 2009 grid. Because Ross Brawn shifted focus so early, his engineers have spent months working on the new chassis, while every other team was still fighting over the 2008 season. And during that development, something extraordinary happened. A young Japanese aerodynamicist named Sanayuki Minagawa is reading the 2009 regulations. English is not his first language, and because of that, he interprets Article 3.12.7 differently than every other engineer in the paddock. The rules tightly control the floor and diffuser dimensions, but they fail to govern the vertical channels connecting them. Minagawa spots the gap. The team builds a second diffuser into the crash structure, fed by 2 holes in the floor of the car. When the wind tunnel data comes back, the numbers are so strong that the engineers think something is wrong with the sensors. Nothing is wrong. They have just outsmarted every team in Formula One. But none of it matters if there is no team to race. Brawn and Chief Executive Officer Nick Fry spent 3 months desperately searching for a buyer. One prospect, a Greek man named Achilleus Kalakis, who claimed to be a billionaire shipping magnate, turned out to be a convicted fraudster. Nobody serious materialized. By February 2009, it looked hopeless. And then Brawn saw his opening. Shutting down the team would cost Honda roughly $100 million in severance and redundancy payments. So, Brawn pitched them. Sell me the team for £1. Give us a budget equal to those shutdown costs. You save face, you save jobs, and we take on the risk. Honda agreed. On March 6, 2009, exactly 23 days before the first race of the season, Ross Brawn officially owned a Formula One team. The price, £1. His wife Jean's only instruction was, do what you want, but don't mortgage the house. What follows is controlled chaos. The car needed a new engine. Honda's V8 engine was the worst on the grid. Mercedes agreed to supply, but the engine was a completely different shape. Staff worked 3 shifts a day, 24 hours a day, physically re-engineering the car to fit the Mercedes power unit. 270 people were made redundant. The team fell from 700 to roughly 430. And there was almost nothing in the way of spare parts. Brawn later admitted that they went into those first few races with 2 cars, and the bits that made the cars, but very little else. If they had had a crash, there would have been a car that could not compete. That's the reality when Button lines up on pole in Melbourne. 1 crash, and the fairy tale ends before it begins. Button doesn't crash, he wins. Barrichello finishes second, and then Button keeps winning. Malaysia, Bahrain, Spain, Monaco, Turkey. 6 wins from the first 7 races, a 26-point lead in the championship. The most dominant start to a season anyone in the paddock can remember. Behind the scenes, it's a different story entirely. The team is hemorrhaging money. After Melbourne, another 300 workers are let go. Any expenditure over £75 has to be personally approved by Brawn, Fry, or the finance director. Staff are picking tie wraps off the floor and putting them back in drawers because they can't afford to waste 25 pence. Brawn later puts it perfectly. We were like a swan. We were serene on the top, but underneath we were paddling like hell. And then the advantage starts to disappear. Red Bull's Adrian Newey develops his own double diffuser. Ferrari and McLaren pour tens of millions into upgrades. Brawn GP has almost nothing left to spend. Button wins the Turkish Grand Prix on June 7th. He does not win another race all season. The car physically deteriorates. Only 3 chassis are built all year. Bigger teams build 8. Button uses the same single chassis in every session, from Australia to Brazil. The bodywork is degrading. The pace is gone. Red Bull outscores Brawn 43-19 in the final 3 races. What looked like a coronation becomes a survival fight. Button has never been in a championship battle before, and the pressure is cracking him. His race engineer, James Vowles, later admits that Jensen was not performing at the end of the year, and he lost faith with it. On October 18, 2009, at Interlagos in São Paulo, Button needs to finish 5th or higher to clinch the title. He qualifies 14th, and then the rain comes. Changing conditions are Button's greatest strength. He drives through the field, picks off car after car, and finishes 5th. It is enough. Jensen Button is world champion. Barrichello finishes 8th, and that gives Brawn GP the Constructors' Championship too. Button sings "We Are the Champions" on team radio. He loses his voice for 2 days. The team that was dead 10 months ago has won everything. 100% championship success rate. The only constructor in Formula One history that has never lost a world championship. Because they only entered one. And they won it. 3 weeks later, Mercedes buys 75.1% of Brawn GP for £110 million. The same team, same factory, same staff, same culture, becomes Mercedes-AMG Petronas. Between 2014 and 2021, they win 8 consecutive Constructors' Championships. Lewis Hamilton wins 6 of his 7 titles at Brackley. The most dominant era in Formula One history is built on foundations that Ross Brawn laid when he bought a dying team for a £1 coin. But here is the thing people forget. It was not the diffuser that won the championship. It was not the engine deal. It was not even the £1 buyout. It was 400 people who showed up to work every single day during the worst winter of their lives, not knowing if they would have jobs the following week, and built a car that changed Formula One forever. Sometimes the people with the least to work with are the ones who work the hardest. And sometimes, just once. That is enough.